I stopped eating my parents' food after my stepfather screamed at me for taking leftovers home, and now they're accusing me of having an eating disorder. Let me be clear about something. I'm not anorexic. I'm 5 feet 4 inches, 130 pounds, and my doctor says I'm perfectly healthy. I'm just a grazer. Heavy meals make me nauseous, so I eat small portions throughout the day. Always have. My stepfather Dan absolutely hates this about me. He thinks there's only one way to eat food, and that's to inhale everything on your plate in one sitting like some kind of human garbage disposal. 2 weeks ago, we went to this Italian place for my mom's birthday. I ordered chicken parmesan, ate about half, and asked for a to-go box. Standard procedure. I always eat my leftovers the next day for lunch. Always. Dan's face turned red. He started screaming right there in the restaurant. That's not how you're supposed to eat food. You're wasting my money because the food isn't fresh when you eat it. The whole restaurant turned to stare. My mom just sat there, silent, like she always does when he goes off. I hate having to buy you food. Stop asking for it when we go out. I won't pay for it anymore. He called me lazy, ungrateful, and a few other choice words I won't repeat. The waiter looked horrified. Other families were staring. My 16-year-old brother came to my room that night and apologized for them. A teenager had to apologize for 2 grown adults. That's when I knew exactly what I was going to do. Game on. The next time they invited me out to dinner, I didn't order anything. Not a single thing. I sat there with my hands folded while they ate. Dan tried to play it off at first. You sure you don't want anything? I smiled sweetly. No thanks, you said you wouldn't pay for my food anymore. The waitress looked confused. My mom looked mortified. Other tables started noticing the girls sitting at a family dinner with no food. When we got home, Dan exploded. You're making us look abusive. Order some food. I said, you told me not to ask for food anymore. I'm just doing what you said. He went silent. But I wasn't done. At home, I started taking the tiniest portions possible. Like 3 green beans and a spoonful of rice. I'd eat that and nothing else from their kitchen. I have my own job and my own car, so I'd stop at Subway or Chipotle on my way home. I wasn't starving. I was making a point. Within a week, both of them were panicking. Mom pulled me aside and said, honey, we think you might have an eating disorder. I laughed. No, Mom. I'm following Dad's rules. He doesn't want to waste money on food I don't finish immediately. She looked desperate. But you're barely eating anything. I'm eating exactly as much as I want from your food. Which is nothing. Dan tried a different approach. He started buying my favorite snacks and leaving them on the counter. I walked right past them. He'd make my favorite dinner and ask if I wanted some. No thank you, I don't want you to waste your money. The look on his face was priceless. Last week, they both cornered me and started throwing around words like anorexia and eating disorder. I pulled up my recent doctor's appointment on my phone. Clean bill of health. Perfect BMI. No nutritional deficiencies. The doctor says I'm fine. I'm just not eating your food anymore because you made it very clear you didn't want to pay for it. Mom started crying. You're being an immature B-word. Dan yelled. I said stop asking, not stop eating. I shrugged. Too late. You made your position clear. I'm just respecting your boundaries. The best part? When we go out now, other people notice. Last weekend at my aunt's birthday dinner, I sat there with water while everyone else ordered. My cousin asked, are you okay? Are you not hungry? I said loud enough for Dan to hear. My stepdad doesn't like paying for food I might not finish in one sitting, so I just don't order anymore. My aunt's jaw dropped. She stared at Dan like he'd grown a second head. He couldn't defend himself without admitting exactly what he'd said to me. My poor baby brother has started sneaking me snacks, which I politely decline. He whispers, this is so stupid, they're the ones acting crazy. Even a teenager can see how ridiculous they're being. But Dan can't take it back now without admitting he was wrong. And my mom can't defend him without looking just as bad. So they're stuck. They created this situation, and now they have to live with watching their daughter sit at family dinners with nothing on her plate because they threw a tantrum about leftovers. Have you ever had to go nuclear on family members who couldn't handle your eating habits? Have you ever had a stepdad like Dan who turned leftovers into a full-blown family crisis? Let me know in the comments below.